Disclaimer, this is a topic that goes way deeper in the depth I'm diving into in this video. This video is not a breakdown of Atlanta gang politics. In this video, my plan is to take an overall look at L5's life and legacy, commenting on what I feel could have led him into getting involved in street politics, and explaining how I feel L5 is the textbook example of an artist who has the potential to break through to his mainstream, though who would wind up self-sabotaging himself due to his own criminal activities in the street, inadvertently leading him to catch 5 years for felony murder. Thanks. I hope you enjoy. London Cluster, better known by his stage name, L5, is one of the bigger names to come out of the Kill for Caden movement of 2023, who would eventually have cosigns as big as Playboy Cardi, with L5 even being rumored at one point to be one of the members Opium was trying to sign. Regretfully, before this was able to happen, L5 would end up going away for 5 years off of a murder charge, though it could really be a house arrest violation charge in all honesty. This is the story of how Atlanta's next up sold his shot due to his own criminality. L5. Born and raised on the west side of Atlanta, specifically the northwest area in a little neighborhood known as Bankhead. If you know your Atlanta music lore, you would recognize this neighborhood as the legendary birthplace of artists like Shorty Low, Young Dro, and the most clouded snitch in Atlanta, T.I. Tip himself. Though alongside the long storied musical background of Bankhead, there also stands to be a notorious hotspot for gang activity and drug shit. The drugs aren't as bad as places like, say, The Bluff, but shit isn't all sunshine and rainbows by a long shot. As L5 seldom speaks on his childhood and upbringing, I'ma just have to assume that a young London will grow up surrounded by the legacy of Atlanta rap, as well as the seeping influence of the neighborhood's lurking criminality behind every corner. When L5 would eventually jump off the porch, he would wind up joining up with the 43 Forever Set, TG5, as well as the Kill for Caden crews, even eventually later claiming Sex Money Murder as well, which is a blood subset if you didn't know. I'm aware that Kill for Caden isn't necessarily a gang, though for the sake of bro announcing his plan to slide for Caden, and the fact that a lot of 43 crew happens to be Kill for Caden, it points to it being a tad bit more than a music group, if you catch my drift. I'm no Vlad TV though. Feds, yo no hablo inglés. Horrible pronunciation aside, L5 would end up dropping music until the year 2023 according to what he has on his channels, specifically starting with the freestyle that dropped June 17th, 2023. In this first track, bro would bring high energy yelling and mesh it with some drill inspired lyrics to create a genuinely fun and relatively good first track. Even in the beginning, bro was dissing motherfuckers who had died, and it's pretty clear it's at least partially due to Caden's passing, as well as a few other friends. That same month, on June 24th, 2023, L5 would drop yet another track, this one called Come Here, which would be over a baby drill type beat, at least in how the drums and bass in the song were formatted, though he'd still be using his signature high energy style with this beat. This track's audio is currently sitting at 51,000 views on SoundCloud and 48,000 views on YouTube, making it one of his first true breakout tracks into the music industry. These first two songs would serve to lead up to L5's first real project, that being the mixtape Stating Facts. This mixtape would be the first time that L5 would begin to do features, with artists like 952 Lil Big and Lil Perk being prevalent on this album, and both of them, by sheer coincidence I'm sure, also happen to be Kill for Caden and 952 members. I'm unsure if L5 is still cool with 952, given how fractured the West has become since this collaboration, but it's still cool to see artists collaborating from the same section of the city. This tape would wind up doing pretty well for a first project, and would lead directly into L5's first ever music video, Forever. This song would be a very new age Atlanta drill track, in both beat, the rasping bro's voice, and how he meshes the two and his slangs and cadence and flows into how it sounds. This song served to put him on musically, as this one video is sitting strong at 880,000 views as of this recording. It's probably also good to mention that bro would stay dissing and paying tribute to his dead partners in every single fucking track. I felt he does it enough to warrant me saying that before we moved on, but it's literally every single fucking track. There's not one that he doesn't do it in. On September 10th, 2023, L5 would go on to drop his first ever music video to break 1 million views. That music video being the song You a Fool, shot by Zay Files. This song would happen to be one of my favorite instrumentals to ever come out of the scene, easily making up for how shitty the music video quality seems to be. Shit is like 240p the entire fucking video. Shit looks like it's recorded on a flip phone that came out the year I was fucking born, 2002. This song would be a hype yelling type track with a classic Atlanta beat and would be sitting at a nice 1.2 million views as of right now today. This same month, L5 would seemingly be on a roll, dropping a track of Lil Drapo called Switch Street, which beat-wise is the calmest thing I've ever heard L5 rap on up until this point. He would in fact be yelling on this beat, however, so I can't say it's peaceful. This track is currently sitting as his top viewed song, at least music video wise, sitting at a nice 1.9 million views. The next two tracks that L5 would go on to drop would be more of the same, until finally, on November 21st, 2023, he would switch it up and go full melodic in order to spice things up and experiment a little bit. This song not ironically being one of the first tracks of L5's that I actually bumped heavily when I first found him. This track only ever getting 189,000 views as of this recording, but it showed how versatile he could be if he really wanted to be. Now would be as good of time as any to say that L5 would end up getting a Playboi Carti mention and shout out, originally stemming from Carti playing his music in the background of an Instagram post. This would play directly into rumors that L5 would be next up to sign to Opium, as a few of their artists had already began to co-sign him and post his shit. L5 would tease this by rocking Opium clothing in an Instagram post, but nothing official would ever come of it, due to reasons I'll expand upon later, some due to criminality, others due to other shit. On November 30th, 2023, L5 would go on to drop the melodic, high-energy track, Mama We Made It, to decent success as it would get a solid 558,000 views as of this recording. It being the first non-screen track, yet it's still high-energy melodic track to break over 100,000 views, though it would be the last in his current catalog to do so. The next three tracks, Shade On Part 3, Outside, and Back and Forth, featuring the toddler himself, Lil RT, wouldn't even break 100,000 views, with each of them getting 69,000 views, 65,000 views, and 75,000 views respectively. This being all the more prevalent as L5 would go down for murder just after all of this, squandering his opium chances as well as stalling his career growth for at least the 5 years minimum he was given. It's unclear whether this is for the house arrest violation, like a probation violation type thing, or if it was related to a murder that the police was trying to tie him to. I've seen both said online, and I'm no cop and I'm no reporter, so I have no inside information on this case. As it stands, L5 is one of the prime examples of an artist who is arguably on the way to be one of the standout artists in his scene, who squandered his opportune moment due to criminal shit he had no business still being active in. My true advice to any street artist who has any motion is to leave the crime shit to your people. There is no sense in jeopardizing what you are building for short-term profit or useless revenge. And I'm not even saying you shouldn't get back for shit, but like, bro, you're the face of shit, you ain't gotta pull the trigger. This shit is basic common sense knowledge. That and obey your probation guidelines, I guess. I don't know why that needs to be fucking said. With all that being said, however, L5 is still one of the top artists to come out of West Atlanta, and one of the few that had the glimmers of being able to elevate to the next level, especially given the interest that Playboi Carti ended up showing in him. Here's hoping that when he gets out in 5 years, he won't pull a Bobby Shmurda, and he can actually rise from the heights that he could definitely reach. If you like this video, be sure to like, comment who you're trying to see next, and subscribe with the bell to see all my future uploads. I am a bit sick in this video, if you can tell from my voice being a bit fucky, but I mean, it shouldn't be too noticeable. Next week will most likely be a video on Prada Bag Shorty. Then it will be a randomly generated from a long list of recommendations y'all have kindly put in the comments. If fucking he don't get picked after that, I'm gonna pick him myself because I've been said I was supposed to be doing him. At 2,000 subs, y'all gonna be getting a Q&A live stream from me, which I will announce at the time of the week of. We ain't there yet though. As always, I appreciate each and every single one of y'all who support the channel. I wouldn't be nothing without y'all, and that's the plain truth. With all that out the way, peace out, and chill out.
For the future.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part too.
They're doing their part.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?